As South Africa grapples with the fallout from Gwede Mantashe's shocking arrest abroad, a damning narrative has emerged from within political circles, whistleblower accounts, and leaked documents. The ruling African National Congress, ANC, knew about the minister's illicit dealings long before the world did. This revelation threatens to unravel the party's already fragile grip on power and could mark the beginning of the end for one of Africa's longest-standing liberation movements. The scandal centers on Mantashe's involvement in secretive corruption networks that facilitated illegal mining contracts, offshore money flows, and the awarding of lucrative energy tenders to foreign firms with questionable credentials. While the international community was stunned by the sudden news of his arrest, triggered by a global sting operation, many insiders claimed that the ANC leadership had been aware of the underlying misconduct for years. According to confidential sources close to the party's inner circles, internal investigations and reports highlighting Mantashe's misconduct were quietly circulated among senior ANC officials, including some at the highest levels of government. However, these warnings were systematically ignored, dismissed, or actively suppressed to protect the party's reputation and preserve political alliances. A former ANC official, speaking on condition of anonymity, revealed there were detailed memos and intelligence briefings about Gwede's dealings, how tenders were rigged, how offshore accounts were used, and how political influence was leveraged to keep everything under wraps. But those documents were buried because the party feared a public backlash. The implications of this alleged cover-up are profound. It not only undermines the ANC's narrative of anti-corruption reform under President Cyril Ramaphosa but also exposes the party's deep internal divisions and the extent to which patronage networks have entrenched themselves within the government. The scandal has unleashed a wave of public outrage. Many South Africans, already disillusioned by decades of corruption and service delivery failures, feel betrayed. On social media, the cry, "they knew all along," has become a rallying call, capturing the sense of betrayal felt across the nation. Political analysts warn that the ANC's credibility has been fatally damaged. The real tragedy is not just that corruption happened, said Professor Thabo Dlamini, a political scientist at the University of Johannesburg. It's that the ruling party knowingly allowed it to happen and chose to protect itself instead of the people. Opposition parties have capitalized on the crisis. The Democratic Alliance, DA, has called for a full judicial inquiry not only into Mantashe's activities but into the complicity of ANC leadership. The Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, have promised mass protests demanding the resignation of senior officials allegedly involved in the cover-up. Meanwhile, within the ANC, the scandal has exacerbated factional rivalries. Some party members are demanding accountability and reform, while others push for silence and loyalty, fearing that further disclosures could spell disaster for their political futures. The presidency, led by Ramaphosa, faces its most severe challenge yet. Ramaphosa campaigned on a platform of cleaning up state corruption and rebuilding trust, but critics argue that the Mantashe scandal has exposed the limits of his influence within the party and government. In a rare moment of candor, a senior ANC insider admitted, "The president can only do so much. The party is a complex beast with many interests. If this scandal is as deep as it seems, it's going to shake the foundations of the ANC." International observers have also expressed alarm. South Africa's reputation as a democratic beacon in Africa is at risk, with major donors and partners signaling increased caution in their dealings with the country. For ordinary South Africans, the scandal reinforces a painful reality: corruption remains deeply embedded in the political system, and the promise of clean governance remains elusive. As investigations continue and more names are expected to surface, one question hangs heavy over the nation: how long did they really know, and how much longer will the ANC be able to survive the truth?